Hey there everyone, welcome back to Measure and Mix. Today I'm going to be making some Dollar Tree fall DIYs. I asked you guys the other day on my community tab if you would like to see fall DIYs or Halloween DIYs, and the majority of you said fall for now. So that is what I'm doing today, but I will have some Dollar Tree Halloween DIYs for you guys next week, so stay tuned for that. If you are new to my channel, welcome. I'd love to have you stick around by hitting that subscribe button, and don't forget to ring the bell so you get notified when I upload a new video. Now let's get started on the DIYs. For this first DIY, I'm going to be using 4 of these orange carvable pumpkins from Dollar Tree, and I'm going to be using a sheet of the poster letter stickers from Dollar Tree as well. These are going to be used as stencils for the pumpkins. So I'm going to take the F, A, and the 2 L's, and I'm going to place them in the center of each pumpkin. And then I'm going to come back with my Exacto knife, and I'm just going to trace around each one of the letters to cut the letters out. I just want to be really careful, especially with the F, because it's kind of some of the parts are a little bit close, so when you're taking the styrofoam out, you just want to be really gentle with them. Then on each one of the pumpkins on the bottom side, I just cut out a circle. Now the A did not work out, unfortunately, and I didn't think about this in the beginning, but I realized it while I was cutting it out, as you can see here, that it's not going to work. So I took another pumpkin and I decided to cut out a pumpkin in the center of that as the A for fall. And then I went ahead and cut out both of the L's, and again just made sure I cut holes in the bottom of each one of these pumpkins as well. Next, I went ahead and painted all 4 of the pumpkins. I just removed the stems and set those aside. Now, I did want all 4 of the pumpkins to be 4 different colors, but you could paint them all of the same color. It's up to you. So the first pumpkin with the F, I painted a light orange color just by mixing some white with my orange chalk paint. And then I did use a smaller brush to get inside of the letters and the pumpkin that I cut out, and then a bigger brush to paint the outside of each one of the pumpkins. I painted orange, and then I painted a moss green and a light blue, and then I also painted a light color white paint. And they were all chalk paint, and I did 2 coats. Once they were dry, I took my stain, which was just in the color Briar Smoke, and a little paintbrush and just kind of applied some of that stain onto each one of these pumpkins. And then I also came back with a little bit of the colored paint after I applied the stain to kind of blend it all together, just to make these look more weathered and farmhouse, because that's kind of what goes with my decor more. Next, I just needed 1 stem for the top of the orange pumpkin, so I painted one of the stems orange, and then again took some of the stain and distressed it and put that on the top of the orange pumpkin with some hot glue. Now I'm going to stack these pumpkins, and I want them to light up, so I'm going to take some of these battery operated fairy lights, and I'm going to start with the bottom L, and I'm just going to string that through the bottom hole of that pumpkin and through the top where the stem came out of, and then I put the battery pack inside the pumpkin to the side, and then I just strung it through the second L and then all the way up through the pumpkin and the F. So then once they were all stacked, I came back with some hot glue, and I hot glued each one of them on top of each other so that way they would stay in place. This next DIY is super easy. I'm going to use this Friends Gather Here sign from Dollar Tree. I love the colors in it and the way it looks, but I think it just needs to be amped up a little bit. So I'm going to use 2 of these yard stakes from Dollar Tree, and I'm going to remove the signs from each stake. Now there are little nails holding the signs in so they don't come out easily, so I just hammered them down in and used a piece of sandpaper to sand down the side where the signs were so that way it would be smooth. Now I'm just taking the stakes and I'm measuring out the top side and the bottom side of the signs, and then I'm using the hacksaw from Dollar Tree to cut those stakes down. Then I use the leftover stakes with the pointed side to measure out the sides of both of the signs, and again use the hacksaw to cut the stakes down. Now I'm going to give each one of these pieces 2 coats of white chalk paint on the back and the front and the edges. And then once they were dry, I came back with some sandpaper and sanded the edges to make them look more weathered. Next, I'm just going to cut the hanger from the sign, and I'm going to take those pieces of wood to frame out my sign on all 4 sides. So I just took the 2 pieces that I cut for the top, and I applied some hot glue to the top of the sign, and then I just placed my piece of wood along that edge. Did the same thing for the bottom, and then I used some hot glue to reinforce the back of the sign where the wood meets the sign so that way it would hold a little bit better. And then I did the same thing for the other 2 sides, and that was it. I had a nice fall framed sign. Lastly, I'm going to make a pretty fall wreath with some of these beautiful hydrangeas that Dollar Tree is selling this year for fall. And I picked out the colors burgundy, orange, and ivory to use for this wreath. I ended up using 14 bunches of hydrangeas to fill up this wreath. I know it sounds like a lot, but I really wanted this wreath to look full and vibrant and pretty, so it took 14 bunches for me to do that. And what I did was I just pulled the hydrangeas off of the stems, and then I hot glued the hydrangeas down into the wreath. So the willow wreath has some little holes in it that you can kind of maneuver the stems into those holes, and I just pushed them down into the holes and then used some hot glue to kind of secure it down into place so they wouldn't move around. And I sectioned the colors off, so I did burgundy, then I did orange, then I did ivory, and I just repeated that all the way around the wreath. And I think this turned out so pretty and vibrant and really nice for fall. Thank you guys so much for watching today. I hope you enjoyed these Dollar Tree fall DIYs. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to follow me over on Instagram as well, and you can tag me at Measure and Mix, and that way I can see all of you guys' DIYs or your recreations of my DIYs. And that is all for today. I will see you guys in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.